I think I'm gonna make a regular habit of these. I'm not exactly sure what's going to emerge. There's some inklings here about um, building up my coaching practice, but there's not a lot of pressure there at the moment. I've got some wiggle room for the time being. Um, yeah. Life is really endlessly vivid. I've had to deal with a lot of tedium. Not sure which one of those is right. The last handful of years. But when illness forces that on your body, on your mind, there's such, I don't know, it just changed my way of perceiving in so many ways. Ah, yeah. And more, it's like I can't try to look anymore. I can't try to be more or less than I am. I, of course, grow and change and prune things that are no longer useful, but the way that happens, the way I perceive how that happens is very different than it was before. And becoming truly aligned with health and how it's accessible and well-being and how it's accessible um, has become so much less about engineering, constructing my life um, than it has become about surrendering to where well-being, connectedness reveal themselves. It's like I was so good at spending so much time analyzing and grasping, arguing with my conceptualizations of the world and my connections and what was right and wrong about them. Again, it's not that those things are bad. It's not that those things don't happen in some way, but it's different now. They're held differently. Yeah, and it's pretty miraculous what happens. Not miraculous in that my life is all of a sudden idyllic, but life has a way of showing you what is available if you continue to learn how to listen. Ultimately, agency and power, true agency and power has so much to do with surrender. At least from my perception of things, I could be completely wrong. Um, if anything I say, makes you want to argue with me, you can try. I probably won't engage too much. If we're friends, it's different. Um, but yeah, yeah. But true surrender isn't going completely passive. When you really surrender, it reveals where only the truest actions come through, something like that. It's like when I let go of my agenda, how I think should things should be, how I should be, how others should be, how the world should be, then the only actions that come through, the only relationships that develop, the only connection that comes through vividly when I stop identifying with my constructions about the world. Um, the only things that manifest are those things that are undeniable. The funny thing is, I think that's what was happening before, anyways. So there's no before and after here, really. Part of me started to worry what people think about what I'm saying, and then I stopped worrying, and I found that funny. I should say it's a gift to receive critique, even if I don't choose not to engage with it. There's an art to receiving the nudges and pushback that the world gives you. The world's offering you opportunities all the time to learn how to love. I don't think that's all that profound an insight. I think we all know that. Again, I could be wrong. I say we, I speak sort of authoritatively. That's something that is artifacts of our language and how it's been built. We're constantly asserting truths and constructing opinions. We're doing it almost the entire time we're communicating, which is why a lot of the time I like to do more embodied, less conceptual connection and conversation. Um, yeah, but this is what I'm saying from a place of relative peace. At least I call it that. I don't know that I'm actually at any more peace than anybody else is. Although I do get feedback along those lines, and I do have the perception that, in a relative sense, hmm, I don't know that I actually want to finish that thought. Um, yeah, yeah. You might be able to tell where I was going. I don't know. How much time do I have? Hmm, I need to get ready soon. Um, hmm, I'm not sure if there's more that wants to be shared. It's nice to be unsure. Something that's been a real gift is that I don't fight with uncertainty nearly as much as I used to. Life always includes uncertainty, and we can hide from it, or we can spin it into what could go wrong, or ruminating what was wrong about the past, guilt and shame, or anger and hatred. And I honestly don't think those things are bad either. They're part of this. I don't think where I am and what things you could call beliefs or perspectives that come through, I don't think they're necessarily better. It's like there's recognition here that I arrived here organically, and that all the beings that I know and I've witnessed have arrived exactly where they are organically. Like saying that what I experience, how I am, is what my beliefs are, what my healing processes or spiritual, emotional, relational growth looks like, saying that that's better. It's like looking at two trees that grew in very different ways and yelling at one that it should have grown differently. Or hey, that tree grew better. And it's like, yeah, there's insight to be made around how we support people with relative well-being. And that's useful. And there's also something to fully honoring the organic nature of this whole thing. And by this whole thing, I mean this whole thing. Bye for now.